All right, my friends, welcome back to another episode of the Build Show podcast. That's right, my weekly time to get together with you guys and go deep. I got my buddy Peter Scott here. Peter's driven down from Dallas. And on this episode, we're going to be specifically talking about the house that Peter is building for Build Show Live. If you guys aren't familiar, we have our own conference. It's in Dallas this year, October 16, 17, and 18. And if you buy the VIP pass, you get to walk through this incredible house that Peter's got under construction. We're actually in framing right now.
That's
so
right.
Peter and I are going to talk all about the process. This is his first time doing Monopoly framing, so we're going to talk about some of the challenges, what it was like working with those framers. We're going to get into some of the details on this. Peter and I have been friends for at least a decade. He's an old school Build Show fan. He's a second generation builder. Go check out our previous podcast if you want to kind of hear his history and background. With that being said, from the Rice and Group Build Studios in Austin, Texas, let's get going. Hey guys, before Peter and I jump into the podcast, we want to say a quick thanks to Huber Engineered Woods for sponsoring. Now, Peter, I'm curious, have you used Huber products much over the years?
We are, I would say it's probably pretty safe to say we're obsessed. We are able to really efficiently and excellently produce something that I don't know exactly how we'd get this product without it.
Yeah,
I mean, really provide a wonderful system.
Their products are game changer, but I want to rewind time for a second, Peter, because when I first found out about Huber Engineered Woods and specifically Zip System, I'm going to leave Advantech off for a second because I was in love with Advantech from the moment I found it. But Zip System, when that came out, and when I was an early kind of learner about it 20 plus years ago, the first thing I thought was that's the dumbest system I've ever thought. I can't imagine nailing up sheathing and then taping it would possibly keep a house waterproof. For a couple of years, I was like, my example would be like, have you ever used duct tape before on something? Right. How long does it last outside? You know, this is before I had personal experience with it. And so I was like, don't use that. That's stupid. You got to use house wrap. Like, this is ridiculous. So fast forward a couple years, and at the Construction Durability Lab in Austin, Texas, I don't know if you saw these old videos from like 2011, 12. This guy, David Nicastro, who's super nerdy building scientist, but not super well known nationally. He's not as famous as Joe Stiebrick, let's say. He was doing testing on all these different weather barriers. And he has this test wall. It's still up today. It's actually less than a mile from my studio, where he was testing all these different products, putting them out to the full sun for a period of time and seeing how they performed. And to this day, the Zip system that's out there is now probably 15 years old, uncovered, and is definitely weathered, but the tape is still holding on tight, and there's no cladding on it. And so, long story short, in talking with him and seeing the research, looking at the acrylic tape, learning about all the different styles, I was convinced. Like, this took some time. Trust me, this wasn't an overnight deal. And now fast forward, I've been using their products for at least a decade. Zip System in particular, Advantech I've probably used for more like 2 decades now. They make bomber products, and just like you, this like the best way to get not just a watertight house, but an airtight house.
Exactly.
Right.
Yep. Is absolutely fantastic. And I would just say, not that I'm on Huber's legal team, but there is an expiration for how long you should have.
That's right. You're not supposed to leave it out 15 years.
Don't
this
do
is
it
not a
15
siding
years.
product.
I can't even do it for a year. So, like, get your cladding back up.
You do need to cover it.
You
That's
do.
right, for sure. So anyways, thank you, Huber, for sponsoring. And we use them all the time. We're going to talk about them some more in this episode because, here's my transition, you're using Huber Zip System on our Build Show Live house as well, aren't you?
Yeah, it's my, I think the interesting thing about this project is you and I started talking about the opportunity of this being a Build Show Live house when this thing was in construction. So I did not, in all transparency, I think it's important to know, because I think one of the things that's important to me about this product as people come and see it is I want it to be like achievable. You know, you can get into the building science world and there's some really great things, but it feels like it might be out of reach, for certain practices. And this is just not going to be. And I think one of the interesting things about this is the architecture itself kind of lent to, I mean, we were on a call and you're like, have you thought about Monopoly wall framing
Monopoly
this?
framing
Yeah.
this.
And I was
Yeah.
like, I'd love that. I have not thought about that.
Yeah.
And it really leans to it. And so, and there's some things.
And you were already planning to use Zip.
Absolutely.
We talked you into Zip R though, or we said, hey, what did you think about using Zip R?
Yep. And so it's going to be a great learning experience for me as well. But it's also, what I'm really encouraged about is just getting ahead of some things to do some really well practices to have a really phenomenally performing house.
I love it. Let's talk Monopoly framing. So you kind of teed us up already. I wish we had the visuals to show. This is a podcast. Most people listen. A few people are watching our faces here on their. By the way, you can watch the podcast on thebuildshow.com or buildshownetwork.com. Most people do listen. But when I first saw your house, I said, oh, we got some gables. This would be a pretty straightforward house to basically cut the eaves off.
Right.
Monopoly frame it, and then build an over roof of some variety so that now we've got that wall touching the roof sheathing. We tape that joint. We have no rafters, no tails poking through from the inside to the outside. And all of a sudden, we really crank up the blower door performance in the air tightness like automatically.
Exactly.
And so talk to us a little bit about how the architecture lent itself to that.
So there's a few dormers that are going to be tricky, and you and I are going to look at that. I'd like some help on that.
Yeah, please do.
But overall, this house, honestly, it didn't really have much of an overhang at all, maybe 6 inches.
Yeah, that's
which,
right.
to be honest, I didn't catch in design, and that's not my favorite. It's really unforgiving for not to have. I mean, I'd love to have 24 inches at minimum. This is an architectural design feature as well, so you have to play with with architect designs.
Sure,
but for the most part, the house, and you guys will see it, it's a broad front facade, and then one side of the building will go all the way back to the building line where the garage is a rear entry, and so it's a pretty simple frame.
Yeah. We got one or two valleys on the roof besides dormers.
Yeah,
trying to think.
2 max, I think. Yeah,
not much. And then we decided to go with a 1 foot overhang. Is that right?
I think we are gonna try to get 18.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sweet.
So
killer.
And it's really, the house is leaning in a traditional lane anyways with the design, so it really just needed it.
Yeah.
So
I love it.
I'm really happy with that. I really am.
That overhang gives a lot of forgiveness.
Yeah.
And an 18 is a good compromise because if we build this over roof, depending on how we frame it, like if you guys saw the Reisinger build project, basically we Monopoly framed the roof. The Zip wall sheathing that was green hit the brown Zip roof sheathing, which is the nominal 5/8. And then we just literally sat a 2x4 on the roof on the flat, screwed it down into the trusses. I think yours is a hand cut roof, right? Yep. Screwed it down into the trusses. So the same spacing. I think our trusses were at 16 inch on center, not 24. Yeah, they were on 16 on centers. So just 1 2x4 per truss. On the Reisinger build, we went to 24, but 18's even better. Yeah. You've got an even stronger, overhang there. And then we ran a string line from side to side, cut those off with a plumb cut.
Yep.
And then nailed on, not even screwed on, a sub fascia, which was, again, just a 2x4. And then we took that sub fascia back for a flat soffit. I don't know if you're doing flat soffits on this job. I can't
remember on the top of my
we'll have to go back and look. But
it will be vented.
It will be vented, though. That's right. Because when we vent those soffits, it's not venting into the house. It's venting into the over roof, which adds a huge amount of forgiveness to the system.
And I would just a shameless plug to the Build Show live and getting to go on this tour, which is, I don't know that I would fully understand what we're talking about, having not gotten to see your two houses and really understanding
last year.
Exactly. Yeah. Like how these techniques are working and why. And I remember seeing, like, when I first walked up, I'm seeing closed cell foam and vented attics, and I'm like, huh? And so it's really fascinating. Yeah. And so getting to go and walk this, it's really going to be kind of in a mock wall set.
Yeah.
You're going to get, size. Yeah, you're going to get, exactly. You're going to get to see how the exterior cladding is done and what will probably be at like final MEP.
Yeah.
So no drywall. So it's going to be great.
So perfect. And the other cool thing about this being a tour house, and of course we're plugging you getting a VIP ticket to come see the tour on October 16th is when you'll be able to tour Peter's house. There'll be buses from the convention center that bring you out. I'll be there. Jake Bruton will be there. Steve Basic will be there. Peter and his team will be there. You get to meet the project manager, the superintendent. We'll have, not all, but most of the Build Show Network contributors. So you can pull one of us aside and go, hey, Peter, what was it like with your framer? Because it was his first time too framing this. Like, what did you have to do to convince him? Was it hard? Did you show him videos? Did you have a language barrier? All those kinds of things you can actually talk about that.
Because I have a unique perspective in that I haven't done this building condition before. And so I'm learning. I have phenomenal teachers, but I'll have a very fresh take.
That's awesome. Out of curiosity, I think I actually was on a Zoom call with your framer a couple, 2-3 weeks ago. What's the level of excitement on the job? Like, are they dreading this? Are they excited about it? I'm assuming this is new for them.
It totally is. I have a phenomenal framer, and I'll give his number to no one.
Don't ask. Did you hear that? I love
it. So the culture of our company and our team is already, we're so far into just nerding out about all these types of details.
So great.
We haven't had the opportunity to do Monopoly framing, and so we're really excited about it. But this is just like kids in a candy shop.
That's awesome.
Everybody just nerding out. And so it's been really fun.
That's really cool. Yeah. So we've got Zip R on the walls. Yep. What did we end up going with? Are we R3 or R6?
So it's not Zip R.
Oh, it's not Zip R.
No, so we're doing it's standard Zip, and we're actually going to do close cell exterior foam with the X bracket.
Right, I forgot. Yes.
So this is gonna be really fun.
This is gonna be really fun. So standard Zip, green Zip.
Yep. Zip R is phenomenal. This is just a different way.
This is a different way, which in some respects is a better way. Just different. And then you're going to be using the InSoFast X bracket.
Exactly.
Which, if you haven't seen it before, it's really hard to describe it visually, but it's they call it the X bracket. It's kind of X shaped with a pillar on the top and the bottom. And you can nail or screw or frankly even glue in some cases, not on Zip. You glue it to concrete, this bracket onto the wall. And then you'll be able to have this gap that you can spray foam on the outside of your building.
Exactly.
And then what's the attachment layer for this? You have stucco going on this house, right?
I do. So this is just all transparency. It was going to be a brick house. I've got a 5-inch brick ledge. I really wanted to use this bracket. And so we decided to switch to stucco, which allowed us to get that. I think overall it's about a 5-inch. I think the bracket's a little 4 inch and some change. We'll have 2 to 3 inches of closed cell foam.
Oh my gosh!
And then you have that vented attic space, which is another 2 inches or so.
So you're gonna have like R21 continuous on the outside of the house. Yep. Dang, that's legit.
Now I just have to figure out how to get a fireplace to work in there.
Yeah, you're not going to. You're gonna have combustion and makeup air. Talk to my business partner Tim about this. He's nerded out a lot because he loves fireplaces and I don't.
I know.
So Tim actually has some pretty good ideas on how to do it, and he tells me that you need, and this sounds weird to me, but you need both combustion air and makeup air. And when we finish, he'll give you his 10-minute story on that. Maybe that's a podcast in the future.
Yeah.
Because as a side note, we've been working hard behind the scenes on the Build HD standard.
Okay.
And we're going to be real close to being done on time to unveil it at Build Show Live. I hope we'll be done on time.
Oh, I look forward to that.
But basically, we've got, and I guess it's okay for me to reveal this. I haven't told. You're the first person who's heard about this,
I'm
you're
excited.
The first person, my viewers, to hear this. But we've got 2 levels. We've got a level that we're not sure how to name it yet, but we basically have like a silver and a gold. One level is like, hey, let's take code, which is good for life, safety, health, and let's add on to it. It's kind of a code plus. Like, here's how you should do it. And then we've got an HD level, which is like, here's how you should do it.
Yeah.
This is like, if I was going to build my house, here's how I'd do it. Which leaves room for another level, which might be like, future, you're building on the coast, you got to build with ICF. You want to build a SIPS house. You want to build something even greater than that. But for now, it's going to be like a code plus and an HD. So it'll be the Build HD standard, and
so
your
helpful.
house that you're building is going to be real close to probably being the higher, most likely will be the higher standard. So stay tuned for that. And
What a resource.
The cool thing about it is, even if, I've built a lot of houses to the passive house standard, but I haven't gotten them rated. This system is going to give builders and homeowners a lot of good guidance on really good building practices. Like, hey, here's a great way to do things. Do you want to follow 100% of it? You may or may not. And we're not actually going to physically rate it for you. You're going to kind of self-certify with some testing and some certification of your own to say this meets the standard.
Yes.
And here's the backup docs that says that. You're not going to pay us $5,000 to rate it like some organizations. There's $0 involved. This is like, hey, take this and use it however you'd like. But here's the guidelines.
But the ability, especially in our market, there's no licensing for builders in Texas.
I know.
Which
Isn't that crazy?
Is crazy.
That's crazy. But you do have inspections.
We have
least.
inspections, yes.
And so this will require a few more inspections. For instance, if you're going to meet the Build HD standard, there's some things around concrete and the foundation that we want to make sure are built to a higher standard, because there's a lot of bad foundations in Texas. Yeah. And so things like, a 5-inch slab will be required rather than a 3.5-inch slab. And we're talking about rebar, and we're talking about batching grabbing your batch tickets.
Yep.
There'll be a cylinder brake requirement. There'll be a blower door requirement. Some things that are not standard in Texas will be required if you want to say that your house meets that Build HD
But as a
standard.
builder with not a lot of accountability, we feel like the city inspections that we get are the lowest standard that we have for our projects.
That's right.
So to be able to have kind of a measuring point to be like, well, this is the city that passed us, and then we have also
Meet this additional layer.
That we've submitted ourselves to.
That's right.
Is awesome.
Yeah. The one thing that I haven't quite figured out, and we're way off on a tangent here, but since we're talking about it, and these guys listening are our friends out there, I haven't quite figured out how to utilize or how we could utilize the logo so that a builder who says, hey, it meets the standard uses the logo. Because I don't want someone who's not truly building to that standard using it.
That's right.
Right? We don't want to dumb it down by like somebody who's like, wait a minute, you're not actually doing this, this, and this. How come you're using that logo or using that? Right? So I got to think about that. There's some logistics to still be ironed out. But Tim and I spent 3 hours yesterday going through basically the sheet we have, talking about, should it be this standard or should it be that standard, and
awesome.
What should this be versus that, and some of them we made optional. As a for instance, we're still debating on, like, it's really hard in Texas to get HVAC contractors to do sheet metal trunk lines, and I love sheet metal trunk lines, and my guy does them day in and day out. But Dallas is really hard to find.
It's very difficult.
And so we decided not to make that as a standard.
Yeah.
Like, you don't have to have that to make the Build HD. It's going to be recommended, and this is best practice. And we're going to have a line that talks about that, but it's not going to be like you have to have that.
That's a trade that really seems to be dying, really. It's a craft to be able to do that. So.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm excited about your HVAC contractor, though. You got a great guy in Dallas.
Yes, he is.
He's going to do a fabulous job.
is
You're going to want to
fantastic.
come see it.
Yeah.
Do you know any of the specs on the HVAC system yet?
So we don't have it all laid out yet.
Okay, you're
but
still
it's
figuring
all
it out.
Carrier. And then we're shooting for Santa Fe.
For dehumidifiers?
Yeah.
Yeah. We have one or two, do you think?
I think he has one spec.
Okay.
We're meeting on Monday, so
Gotcha.
I'll have more information for you.
And the other cool thing that you're going to get to see on this house is, I believe your HVAC guy is going to use this fresh air piping system that I saw on another Dallas builder's job with Josh Helm with Texas Best Construction.
Yes.
Same HVAC contractor. You guys are both using him.
I'm not going to give you him either.
We're not going to give you him either. Don't worry. Although he probably will be at the show, but he has a piping system that is a series of, I'm going to dumb this down, shop vac tubes, let's call it.
Correct. Yeah.
That allow you to home run pipe your fresh air. And you guys have seen the Zender system in my house. If you saw any of those videos, I did a similar system from Zender, which is the Lexus Cadillac system, right? You also have Lexus Cadillac pricing. But this system is more like a Toyota Camry pricing. but still gives you fabulous performance.
It is a great product.
You might make fun of a Camry styling. You ain't making fun of its reliability.
No.
Right. And if you got to put a good HVAC system in, you want something that's going to be super reliable, super durable, and really give you that level of comfort and durability that you want. And this system that you're going to see over there is going to blow your mind.
Yeah, I think that's one of the things I'm most excited about is the air quality in this. It's going to be fantastic.
Yeah, because it's going to be super tight to begin with.
Tight, yeah.
So then when we bring that air in and filter it and distribute it, it's going to be exactly what that homeowner needs all night long.
Exactly.
That fresh
So
filtered air
comfortable.
blown right into their bedroom. My house is crazy comfortable with that system.
really
I
is.
love it. So tell me a little bit about the that process of talking with your, let's say, your project manager and your superintendent about some of these things that you've wanted to do for this house that might be different than what they've done in the past. Like, how do you communicate with your team on some of that kind of stuff?
So I'm really kind of the front line, and a lot of it is we're making decisions based on what's best for the house, what we're wanting to showcase, sponsorship relationships, things like that. So it's all kind of a creative process. But as it's rolling out, I just bring them into the room with me, and we're talking through details and execution and best practices. Every house is different, so the detail is going to be specific to the condition that we're doing. And so gratefully, I have a team that nerds out on this as much as I do. And so we're all learning together. And we already had like phenomenal building science practices.
That's awesome.
That there's kind of feels like this is healthy competition where, hey, Peter, can I try this on this house or whatever? And really
That's
our
awesome.
clients right now, Dallas is interesting in that like it really cares about the fit and finishes. You know, we're doing some really high end.
It's a high style town.
It really is. But they want it to look fancy, you know, and so performance is something we're really educating our clients on.
Yeah.
And so we're having to, in a lot of cases, really try to create these performance details with the same budget that we are working with. And so it's just been a really fun experience, and I've got a great team.
That's really cool.
Great team.
Are you doing anything different on kind of solar or pre-wire or electric car chargers or backup generation, any of that kind of stuff on this house?
So we'll definitely have car charger capacity. I don't have any solar on it, but pretty much everything we do is either has a generator or wired for it.
Yeah.
It feels like it's standard now.
A pre-wire.
It really is.
Yeah. And when you pre-wire for your generator, are you already making a generator panel? Meaning, you know, you're going to put, let's say, a 14 kW generator that wouldn't run the whole house.
That's right.
So we're going to put the emergency circuits on this panel. Is that typically how you're pre-wiring?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the generator will have its own transfer switch. The panel is designated really towards a conversation we're having with the clients of, okay, you know, these apocalyptic snow things, ice storms happen that wouldn't mean anything to our friends up north.
Yeah.
But take us out.
True.
You want your kitchen on, you want, you know, if you want your pool on a no freeze cycle, you know, what are the things that you want on? You're going to pick between your oven and your microwave. If both those things pop on at the same time, it's going to trip you. So we're just talking, it's really kind of like a la carte, what's best for you in this scenario.
Yeah.
And how do you want to live for a few days without electricity?
At my house, I have a generator panel and I have a Champion 14 kW. I'm 100% electric at my house.
Okay.
Which, to be honest, I look back and regret a little bit because my wife hasn't loved my induction cooktop.
Yeah, that's tricky.
And so this is kind of crazy, but I'm actually thinking about adding a propane line into my house where I didn't have one before. And I'm going to rip out my induction cooktop and put a dual fuel, basically, where I've got one massive gas burner, two smaller gas burners, and a 2-burner induction in to still use the electric line that's there already. But I'm going to retrofit a propane line in. And I've been looking at various appliance options, and the guys at Gaggenau, which is a French company, make these really neat things called the Vario cooktop system.
Okay, I don't know it.
So it's basically like you can get these 15-inch modules of whatever you want. And so I can get a 15-inch one burner gas that's like a 20,000 BTU gas burner, like a big one. Like if I want to make a big ribeye and do it on a cast iron pan and tilt the pan so I can baste it with the butter, you can do it on that one. And then a center burner that would be gas. And then on the right, I could have a basically a 2-burner induction cooktop, take advantage of my power. And they're also super thin, which is really nice. So I could have the best of both worlds.
Yeah.
So if someone wants to cook an induction, you've got 2 here. If I'm boiling pasta, I'm all day long going to go induction because it boils super fast. If I'm making a steak, I really want gas.
Yep.
And my wife hasn't loved induction because of the lack of understanding and controls.
Yes.
And the one thing about mine, and I won't tell you the brand name that I've got, but it's got 0 through 9 boost.
Okay.
And the controls just don't make sense to me.
Yeah.
Like 6 is where I cook most of the time, and it's just a little too light, and 7 is a little too hot.
Yep.
And so I don't understand the controls. I wish there was a 6.5.
Yep.
And that's why she wants to go back to gas, because she can just finally adjust it.
So customizable. Yeah. Yeah.
And I totally get it. And from the minute we moved in, she was upset at me that I didn't really give her a choice. I was like, hey, here's our new cooktop. So anyways, she's psyched about that. I'm going to make a video on it.
You're going to love it.
But the other thing I realized is when we have an outage, I don't have use of a cooktop because it's electric. And that induction, I've got a 42-inch induction, which is a beast on power.
Yeah.
It uses a 50 amp or more. I would destroy my generator's power and use all of it if that thing was on.
Exactly.
So now, if I have a power loss, I can still make food on my propane cooktop.
And it didn't have to be drawn from the generator.
Exactly.
That's great.
So there is an interesting thought for future houses of mine and future clients. Like, you know, if you like induction, consider doing a 2-burner induction or a 4-burner induction, but still put a 2-burner gas in. Because if your power's out, you still have propane, you still have gas on.
That versatility is game changing. I have not heard of that. That's amazing.
So we're gonna make a video about that, and it's gonna be a little embarrassing because I'm gonna have to rip out some things in my new house to put it in.
That's what you pay for not asking her what she wants.
It's true, but it also reminds me, like, I should have future-proofed it. Like, I still to this day don't have an electric car, but I have a 50 amp wire to a box. Why didn't I do the same thing for the cooktop?
Yeah.
Why didn't I go, hey, honey, this is electric. You got no choice. But I got a conduit in there that I can snake a pipe in, which I didn't do.
Yep.
And now I'm paying the price for it like a fool.
But this is how we learn.
That's how we learn.
That's how we learn.
And we hopefully take these things that we learn and build better houses for our clients.
Exactly. I think every single house creates a better builder out of us, and every house, the
100%.
next house is a better house.
Have you built a house for your family yet?
I am in the process. We have.
Oh,
so
all right.
We've done some remodels. I've done a new construction.
Cool.
And we are just next week moving into one of our rentals.
Oh,
because
fabulous.
we're essentially going to do a pop the top on a really fun house.
Oh, that's awesome. Very cool. So you're adding a second floor on this pop the top?
Yep.
In a cool Dallas neighborhood that you want to be in with schools?
Exactly. It's just a school move. It's Dallas lots are pretty small. So it's 3/4 of an acre. It's got a great yard for the kids.
Everyone else is like, what? That's huge.
I know.
That's small for us in Texas.
But it's a really traditional home. And so I'm gonna have a lot of fun with trying to best understand. I don't want to just like take it down to the foundation. Like it's got a lot of great bones.
Yeah.
So just how can we improve it from a building science perspective without just starting over?
Well, if you're popping the top, you could go monopoly framing on that, and you could frame that whole second floor and the roof with zip and over roof it, and then you'd have a giant, top that would be super airtight. Then you can come back and aero barrier the first floor, leave everything in place.
Is fascinating me.
Have you used it all before?
I haven't. No, they're talking with us right now.
Oh, good. We should talk to them about doing the Build Show Live house.
That'd be great.
I used it at my personal house. And it's crazy how it catches things that you don't expect to be air leaks.
Yes.
And it's a game changer for remodels. I think it's a game changer for production builders that don't have the bandwidth to do all the taping and sealing and fine details that you and I can do.
It's a great product.
It's a really neat product. We should probably get you back on the road to Dallas, brother.
Let's do it.
So, guys, if you are interested in coming to see the show, October 16, 17, 18, Peter and I will be at the Build Show Live house on the 16th that he's building. Stay tuned for a video. We're going to get out. He's in framing. Actually, what stage of framing are you
we're
right
just
now?
about wrapping framing.
Okay.
The first round of ZEP. So
Okay, sweet. So the Monopoly roof is on already.
no, the Monopoly roof is on. Yes. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
killer. I'm going to see it on Thursday.
Brackets are coming in this next week, and so yeah, it's all happening.
Killer. I can't wait to see it. Stay tuned for some videos. We'll have at least 1 or 2 videos out there so you can kind of get a feel for what's happening. But we'd love to have you come join us at Build Show Live. This is a fabulous conference. This is our 2nd year doing it, and we've got some really cool stuff in the works. It's not that expensive, but it is not free, right? This is $1,500 for the VIP pass. I want to say the education passes are a few $100. But if you just come for the Friday, Saturday, there's actually quite a bit of floor education as well. And that's like $150. And sometimes you can find some discount codes out there to make it $100.
So worth it.
So it's totally worth it. This is really, really good education for not that much money. That being said, guys, we have new podcasts here every single Friday. Hit that subscribe button on whatever podcast platform you're listening on. And follow us on Facebook or Instagram. Otherwise, we'll see you next time on the Build Show
Podcast.